Hey, it's you guys again. I already got my first part for the BMW. I've got work later today, so I have to hurry and put this part on as quick as possible, but I thought I'd film it and show you guys and see what you think. I think it's gonna add a pretty nice touch. It's just a little thing, but it's still pretty cool. I like getting parts in the mail and I was excited when it came, so I'm gonna show you right now. Ooh, that's exciting. Oh man. Like kidney grill, whatever you call those. BMW people be calling those kidney grills, I think. Anyway, mine's a little bit older and the chrome pieces have started to do this weird peeling thing. You can kind of see it right here. Yeah, fake chrome, not really my favorite thing. Anyway, I don't like shiny stuff, so I'm trying to get rid of all the chrome on this car altogether, because like I said, it's fancy, it's too fancy for me. I'm not like a chrome person, so it's gotta be black. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that kidney bean grill in, and you guys can watch, hang out. We're just gonna stick it on really quick. This one is a T30. You just pull up these upper bumper supports and then bam, you can put the grill in. Goodbye, suckers. Okay, so here's something that I noticed. When you're going to put this bumper back together, just a random thought, if you're taking a panel off a car and putting it back on a car at any point, it'll leave these like nifty little marks. You can see right here where the bumper is supposed to be aligned. So when you go to tighten it down, just push them back to where they were. That way like your bumper like lines back up like how it was supposed to be. So just a random tip. Well, there it is. My first mod. Well, now that we got the grill all done, it's the next day, by the way, but I was thinking it's time to make some noise. I'm just gonna throw it up on the lift and take a look at what the muffler system looks like and see if I have enough random piping laying around to delete the mufflers. If I can get rid of those suckers, maybe I'll actually hear some cool noises. So let's go ahead and put this thing up and see what we got. Dang, this exhaust is kind of strange. They actually have two mufflers, one for each side, and it connects with this little pipe in the center, and it has two individual pipes coming into it. So I'm gonna have to extend like these pipes out to here, at least, to bypass the muffler. So all this stuff in the middle, it's gotta come down, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, it was kind of a struggle to get this pipe, but it's like crazy nice and like already polished. Ooh, good, like good material. So now I got my Sawzall out, and it is time, like I said before, to permanently cut these suckers off. must have had like one more in the drawer. But these little like carbide ones, woo, like butter. And if you're cutting pipe all day, whew, it's like all I really even care about. Stainless, man, it's hard to cut through. Maybe I'll leave this clip in real time so you can see how much faster. I know everything's usually like sped up in fast motion, but this goes through so fast I probably won't even have to speed this up. It's crazy because of how long I've been doing this and I didn't know, but like WD-40, this is like one of your best weapons when you're taking an exhaust down because those hangers get all old and super stuck on. But this thing, man, who would have thought? Exhaust hanger remover tool. It's like $25 and it's like a lifesaver. So anyway, just like a pro tip, get you one of these and don't be like dumb like me and for 10 years use like a pry bar. Alright, so I got these tips for free off of another car. Like I cut them off and they upgraded to some better ones, but they weren't like super shiny, so I took them to this little wheel over here. I'll show you in a second. But this is what it looked like at first. Pretty ugly. And then like this is what it looks like now. Substantially better. And yeah, there's like a couple of ways to achieve this, but I might as well make it look good because you saw how nice that pipe is. So this is one of them. If you're on a budget, these are like $1 or $2 at the store, and you can actually get this brush look just by doing this for a while, and you'd be surprised it actually doesn't take that long. The other way is if you have a few dollars, or if you have one of these bench grinders or something like that, you can use this wheel. It'll get it like sort of cleaned up. And then I went and got one of these 3M like kind of like polish wheels, and it just gives it that nice brushed look. And then like, you know, I'll go over the actual chrome tips with this because I don't want to be like as abrasive as this or this. So anyway, just like an interesting way to clean it up so they can look, you know, like a lot better, because that looks way better than that. Now we got this piece all polished. We just need to measure the distance so we can cut our piece of straight stainless. You'll notice I like to TIG weld a bunch of stuff. Ever since I've been doing car things, I just wanted to try to elevate the way that normal processes were done. And exhaust is one of those things that everybody just does quick and cheap. They just use a MIG welder. It doesn't penetrate weld. It leaves like a huge bump over the metal. I mean, this is machine welded, so it's better than just like an average muffler shop. But it is time consuming. So if you don't give a crap about your muffler, MIG weld it. But for this car, I just barely got it. I'm so excited. The only thing I could think to do would be TIG weld this because I just want the highest quality. I just took like 30 minutes to polish this pipe, and I went and specially bought this perfectly round, like already pre-polished pipe for this. Why would I want to take my MIG welder to it after that? So anyway, if you have an opportunity to learn how to TIG weld, it's so worth it. And the machines aren't much more expensive than a MIG welder. And I know everybody uses like Harbor Freight welders and just puts stuff together real quick because they're in a hurry, but it doesn't take that long to learn how to get like halfway proficient with this, enough to put together like not structural stuff, but like, you know, stuff that just needs to look a little better. So Anyway, let's burn this together and see how it goes. I got some really nice stainless filler for this as well, which is nice. This is actually, I believe it's 316. So this is like the highest grade filler that I could use for this particular metal. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. When you're TIG welding, you'll like basically heat up the area and you drip in a little bit of this metal, and then you leave your inert gas spraying out over the weld, and it like basically cools it, and it keeps the carbon dioxide out of the air from pulling into the weld and making it look all porous and nasty. So as long as you have that gas, that inert gas on it, I mean, you can put a tack on something and then it just looks like super clean. So that's why it gets that rainbow effect, is the gas is preventing any carbon from binding to the weld. Not my best weld ever, but it'll pass. It's staying under the car anyway. It's just better than MIG welding it. I mean, it's like dead smooth, and once I polish it, you won't even see it or the color or anything like that. Half of your welding is really dependent on like fitment, and this wasn't exact, so it makes it a little bit hard. And the position and angle that you hold your welder or your torch to the material, humongous difference as well. And then how much filler and how consistent you are. It's kind of like handwriting or cursive. Everybody's writing's a little bit different, and I have days where my handwriting's like perfect, and I have days where it looks like chicken scratch. So I have very, very good welding days, and I have a couple days where if I don't run like a practice pipe first, like I probably should have done before I did this, you know, it'll just kind of look average or okay. Alright, so yesterday I started welding up those rear sections for my BMW muffler delete, except that I just didn't really like the angle that it stuck out of the back of the bumper. And so instead of like just fighting with it last night and trying to like make it work, I decided to regroup. I just drove home with no exhaust on at all. And today I'm just gonna take the time and cut the angles correctly and get it exactly where I want. Sometimes you just have to slow down a little and just get it perfect. So this is kind of where we're at right now. I had welded up this one, which, you know, came out like really good, but just the way that the muffler like kicks out, I need to change this angle right here. So I'm gonna work on that today and hopefully finish it up. Cause you know, I just want it to be really good. I'm only gonna do it once, let's try to do it right. The other thing I was gonna say is I'm waiting for the two pieces for this still, but they should be in the mail. I keep checking the mail every day like, oh, maybe my flange, maybe my coupler will be here. As soon as they're here, I can put the flange and the coupler and the turbo manifold back on, and I should be able to put this on the dyno just to test it and see how the new 62mm turbo does compared to the old 64 comp. And I'm pretty sure based on my friends' results on their cars that it's gonna be a little bit better. I got to looking at this exhaust and it's not as bad as I actually thought. That's why sometimes it pays to just quit for the day and come back the next day and see what you notice, because I thought that this thing was like super wrong and the angle was sticking out bad, but if you look at it, it looks pretty centered in the hole right now. The only problem is the rotation of the tip is obviously upside down. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this connection by welding on the V-band right here. And once I weld the back of the V-band with the MIG welder, this will be in place. And then I'm just gonna unbolt the V-band, cut the flange off at that factory weld, which I don't really like the look of that factory weld anyway. I'm gonna cut that weld out and I will rotate this and it should stick out just how I want and be at the right angle. Now that I cut these things off, they're the inside pipe just fell out, and so now I can just slip them on. And that means I can position it like anywhere I want on the car, any rotation, a little bit of angle if I need. So now I can go get that sucker to come perfectly out of the car. This is the most time-consuming part, is lining up this side and that side identical. That way they don't look weird. I think I nailed it. I think those look as close as like you can humanly get without having some kind of laser robot accuracy. Ooh, they look so good. And they stick out. Like, I just kind of wanted them to stick out a little bit and have a little angle to them. Ah, it's just so nice. All that crappy muffler gone. So the only thing left is to put a hanger or two, final weld the tips on, and then fire it up and see how it sounds. Now I'm down to the last part. I just wanted to make these hangers like perfectly symmetrical. I don't know if you can see them, but it's just like a little L-shaped piece of metal you bend up. And I wanted it to lay on top of the pipe so that you can't see it from the side or from the front. And then I just matched it on the other side exactly. It's hard to see, I know, but anyway, just right on the top like that, so you just can't see it. That's so bad. Well, BMW exhaust is done and I'm exhausted as well, so I'm gonna call it a day right there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I thought it was gonna be like crazy loud and it's not even really that loud. So once again, the muffler delete wins. Better than doing a resonator delete, better than putting some other mufflers back on. It's just gonna be too quiet. So really happy with my choice. I took another guy for a ride that has a Golf R and we were kind of comparing how similar our cars are. And man, his car is like super nice, but it's kind of similar. We both have, you know, little turbo motors, and he's got all-wheel drive, I got all-wheel drive. His is just a hatchback, and mine looks more like a, you know, it's a sedan. But check this thing out, I'll show you guys right quick. Pretty cool. I enjoy driving his car as well. It's kind of fun and peppy just like my car. I think we both feel like we need a little bit more power, but what can you do? I guess we'll have to work on that next. I might actually help him fix his muffler delete because he can't hear his car either. So maybe we'll do that next week. What's up, Gary? Funny that I should catch you driving up this road right about now.
I was gonna pull up next to you.
Oh man, I'm pretty happy with how it sounds. I thought it was gonna be like maybe too loud. Yeah, give me some revs so I can actually get it on video.
That's very Euro.
Yeah, it's kind of tame, huh?
Yeah, I like it though. You've heard it though. I can hear it when you're driving.
Yeah, I can hear it, but it's not like, it's not annoying. This morning when I was driving it before I welded the actual, or put the pieces back on to go all the way past the bumper, it would echo in that area and it was making this horrible drone, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. It was like, you could feel it vibrate on your feet almost. It was horrible. Hey Ari, you should tell everybody goodbye on the vlog because I think we're gonna end it like right here.
Okay, good night everybody.
Later guys.